So I'm really excited to share with y'all what I got in this box. It's a Nanlite Forza 200 spotlight or monolight. It's a COB light, which is compact in size. So without any further ado, let's hop into what it is you get in the packaging when you purchase a Forza 200. Full disclosure, Nanlite sent this out to me for testing and review. Comes in this nice compact carrying case that is weather resistant, not weatherproof. Let's go ahead and get into the contents of this case. It is really small and lightweight. You get a nice little shoulder strap inside of the packaging that you can use or detach or use it however you want. You get a spotlight, and this light is Bowens mount compatible, so any of your Bowens mount attachments or accessories that you have out there, you can use it with this light. Here's the spotlight. Nanlite was kind enough to send me a Parabolic 90, so I'm gonna get into that here as well. It's a softbox, and I'll show you all of that when we can get to it. Over here's the power supply and the V-mount battery bracket. The awesome thing about the Forza 200 is that you can attach a V-mount battery, a 15 volts that is running at about 120 watts of output will give you about 90 minutes of runtime. And if you bump that up to a larger battery, there are 26 volt V-mount batteries out there that will give you about an hour of runtime at full 200 watts of output. So that's really nice considering how long of a runtime you'll get. The V-mount battery bracket connects off of 4-pin XLR to the controller. You get a head cable that is proprietary to Nanlite, so this allows you to connect to the actual Forza 200 body into the controller. For this, it's a really durable cable and it feels substantial in the hand. You get the standard power cable with 90-degree angle. An additional thing that Nanlite includes with the Forza 200 is a light stand clamp. So you can attach the head to a light stand in anywhere that the diameter of the light stand is. Tighten this down and attach this nice compact body of the Forza 200 to it. So that's a nice touch and a really nice inclusion. Next thing in here is the controller. You can see this controller is really intricate and has a really nice build to it. It's a kind of funky because of the V-mount spacing that you have here, but the good thing about this mount itself, or this controller, you can put the V-mount battery in there and you never have to worry about knocking that battery out. I've used some controllers before in the past where the connection isn't tight, so you knock the power out just inadvertently by bumping the battery out. This way it locks the battery in. Additionally, it gives you this physical block of the battery so it's not gonna knock out, or you're not gonna lose your battery power. You can make all the adjustments here to the brightness level of the Forza 200. You can also attach an additional Wi-Fi adapter to this so you can control it via their application, their smartphone application, and make adjustments to brightness. So the cool thing about the controller and the power adapter is that they connect within it. So you can mount it using the connected V-mount adapter that's on the power adapter, and then connect the power to it, and then securely stow away the power cable. So it's in a really nice, neat package. I really like that about this. I like this design because you can just remove this, place a battery in it, and leave this mounted to some light stand or something like that, and the Forza 200 is going to function just fine. To get to the star of this show, and oh my goodness, this thing is absolutely beautiful, and it's so small. It's only 4 pounds in total weight, this head itself. It also comes with a COB protector, so you can protect your light in transit because you're going to be traveling with this thing because it is really small. And this thing is absolutely beautifully constructed and well done. It is built using a standard yoke, and this yoke is, from what I could tell from my initial impressions, is really nicely done and constructed. It is graduated with some teeth on them, so you're going to be able to, not make, you don't have to worry about your light slipping for whatever Bowens mount attachment you have to it, because there are large softboxes out there, and I've had some lights sag because their yoke construction isn't too strong. And if you look here as well, you can put an umbrella in this yoke stand, and it will allow you to tighten that up because there is a spot for it. You can see at the bottom here, it's perforated. So it's gonna take air, cold air from the bottom and press it out the top, because you can see all the way through this thing. It is perforated and it has a nice cooling system all the way through. This is a really nice light, and it's really, really light. It has a 98 CRI and a 97 TLCI. It is 5600 Kelvin, so daylight, color temperature, and that's it. That's all you're gonna get. And you're gonna get a little over 21,000 lumens of output. So this thing is really, really powerful. If you take a look at the chip on board here, the COB on this thing is really well constructed. It is so light and so tiny. Let's throw the Forza 200 on a light stand, crank the output to 100%, wait for the fans to spin up if they do at all, take a microphone to it and see if you can use it in an interview setting like this, or an A-roll setting or anything like that. If you wanted to use this for a key light or a hair light or something like that, is that possible with the Forza 200? You can hold this thing for a while. If you have a gaffer or something like that that needs to hold this light up in a said situation, or put it on a monopod and hold it, it is not that heavy. Let's just say Nanlite never disappoints in the carrying case department. They always give you a really nice carrying case with their products. So with that said, let's get this Parabolic 90 out of this carrying case and take a closer look at it. You can see on the connector end, the Parabolic 90 is Bowens mount compatible, and each one of these little teeth fold out, so it's quickly and easily deployed. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm not a small guy, but this covers me up. It is huge. This isn't even their biggest one. This literally covers my whole top of my body. Like, I could hide under this thing if I wanted. So you get some internal soft light coverage. So this is the diffuser that sits on the edge of the Parabolic 90. And then there's an internal light diffusion that sits on the inside of it for additional layers of diffusion. One thing I noticed that didn't come with the Parabolic 90 is an internal diffuser. Because you can get internal diffusers for these types of softboxes, and then you see that they've prepared it, so they made this ready for attachment of that internal, but they don't provide one. That's kind of a bummer considering the cost of this thing, and I don't know if that was intended, but just keep in mind that if you do purchase the Parabolic 90, it doesn't come with that internal diffuser, so you're gonna have to make do or purchase something else, because you can buy those internal ones. I'll leave a link to one if you bought this and you need that in the description of the video if you want to check it out. So the Nanlite controller that comes with the Forza 200 is really well constructed. The dampening in the adjustment knobs is really nice. Doesn't feel cheap at all. Here we're gonna go ahead and bump this up to 100%, and you can see that this thing is putting a lot of light off the wall. So let's go ahead and hop into the menu, and you can use this thing to navigate the menu. There's a bunch of different things on the menu that you can address. There's a lot of, you can make DMX assignments to that as well, and you can rotate the screen if you needed. One thing that you can't do, however, is make brightness adjustments when you're in the menu. So you gotta hop back over to the light. You can see the color indicator here on this switch. Let's turn this brightness down so I can show you the color differences on this. So whatever you have selected is a little blue hue, so you can go through each one and you know exactly which menu system you are set on. So hopping over to effect, you can do flash effect, pulse, storm, you can do a TV effect, you can do a paparazzi effect, candle or a fire effect. You can make adjustments to the frequency of each one of these as well. A bad bulb effect, you can do firework effect, and welding effect. There's a lot of effects that you can do here. The only thing missing is color. So now hopping over to the menu, you can see that there's a bunch of different stuff in the menu that you can make adjustments to. One thing that Nanlite's pretty good at doing is updating the firmware on their lights and controllers. Here you can see that you can do that as well. There's an included USB port on the controller that is covered by this water resistant rubber cover that you're going to be able to make updates to the firmware on this thing. And then on this side of the controller, there's nothing except for the power in and the power out, you can see that there is DMX in and out and the power switch, so you can turn off the light if you need to quickly. And then one final thing that I want to discuss is this nice leather handle that is included. It's not a real leather, it's more like a pleather. It feels like it's really well constructed and durable, and is swappable if you ever damage it or need to replace it with something. So that's a quick tour of the Nanlite Forza 200 controller. I really like this design because you're going to be hanging this off a light stand, and this slope that's included on the Forza 200 controller is going to allow you to walk up to the light and make adjustments to it. You can see 0, and then we'll bump it up a little bit, starting to fill in that light there. Really harsh shadows because I'm just using the spotlight, but that's some output. That's only 21%. Let's go ahead and bump this up to 100. That's a powerful light. I'll pick this thing up, flash myself. Ah, I got it. Let's put it next to the microphone. Can't really hear it. It's so light that you can pick it up, and that's just really so nice to have. Like other lights that I've used have a lot of girth to them. They weigh a lot and they're hard to mount. You're gonna be able to mount this thing on anything. Like, it's awesome. The fan isn't even going. Let's leave it at 100 for a minute. Just see. There's some heat coming off it, so you don't want to have it too close to your talent. Okay, it just kicked on. Let's put it next to the mic. You can barely hear it. So if you're using this as a key light, because of its power output, you can put it a pretty good distance away from your talent. Let's not have that in my face. And if you're using it a hair light or something like that, or a spotlight or something, if you have it at a good distance, you're not going to hear that fan. This is the Forza 200 at no light. The only light that I have behind me is the Nanlite Power Tube. If you want to check a video out about that, hit the card right here. These lights behind me are phenomenal. Anyways, I want to give you a sample of what this looks like as we go through the stages in it. So it's at 0% now, and I want to just show you the output power of this little tiny light. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10%. It gives me a really dramatic look. Let's go ahead and go to 15%. That's just 15%. This is using the Parabolic 90 softbox, so that's 15%. 20, 25. Let's go ahead and go to 30%. Let's go to 40%. The shadows are really nice, so the Parabolic's doing a good job at diffusing that with just one layer of diffusion. So if I added another one, I bet you wouldn't even be able to see this shadow that I'm showing on my face. Let's go ahead and bump it up to 50%. Let's go to 75%. There's 100%. Before I close, I must disclose Nanlite was kind enough to send me the Forza 200 and the Parabolic 90 for this video. So without them, this would not have been possible. So huge shout out and thank you to them. Also, if you're interested in pricing and availability, it will be linked in the description. Full disclosure with those, as well as those are my affiliate links. So if you shop through them, I make a little bit of commission based off your purchases. It's just a way for you to support content creation here on this channel. So if you want to, shop through those links and pick this stuff up. It helps me out significantly, and it helps me continue to make content here for you on this channel. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thank you for taking the time to watch. I am Tomas, and I will catch you in the next one.